So, this is King Vox, and this is Diablo in 2018. Now, is this game still worth playing in 2018? I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. Diablo 3 is a very beautiful game. It has a really nice storyline, but the main problem that I'm getting at right now that's kind of hurting the game for me is seasons. And I can't tell you guys enough how much I dislike the seasons in Diablo. Like Path of Exile has seasons as well, but their seasons are called leagues, and those leagues have a lot of different stuff adjacent to them when they come out. They have a lot of new game modes and stuff like that. It's kind of like an expansion in a short way, where Diablo seasons is pretty much purely a competitive, base of the game. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, there's nothing wrong with being a little bit competitive, but in a game like Diablo, you don't really need it. The people that need that stuff to still, to feel, I don't really understand. It's people that have a problem with other people having more than them. Now, what I mean by that is you have people out there that purely focuses on how much more another individual has, versus what they have, and it physically hurts them apparently. And that's what I feel that seasons are for. Seasons are for people like that. That's like, oh, I want a fresh start, and there's nothing wrong with a fresh start. But when you want a fresh start purely because, oh, this person plays more than me, so he has more stuff than me, I don't really find that, attractive. I don't find that as, a reason to want to start completely over or want new servers because someone's been playing and putting in their time. They kind of deserve that where they're at. And this isn't really a game where people should look at and be like, oh no, this person's better than me. It should be a co-op fun game where you group up with a bunch of friends, you know what I mean, and you enjoy the content. Now, the reason why I feel seasons hurt that so much is because the developers kind of stopped developing the game, and the content that they put out is half-ass. So every season that comes out, you have these reworks of armor sets that been in a game forever, and it's kind of like shifting the power back and forth, like a seesaw. And it's like, how many times do you have to rebalance these sets? Like, you know what I mean? Like, now I can see if you came out with like 40 new legendaries, and some of these legendaries affect the way that some of the sets hold power and stuff like that. Yes, that's understandable. But I feel like seasons in Diablo are nothing more than just seesawing sets back and forth. There's no new builds. It's been the same funky builds for like what, the past 2 years, 3 years or so now. And there's nothing new. I mean, this is Blizzard we're talking about. This isn't just some like run-of-the-mill third party, small game or something like this. This is a AAA title. You know what I mean? Run by a AAA company that literally is dominating just about every genre right now with their games. And I feel that Diablo is being neglected in such a major way. There's so much more they can do for this game. I feel that there should have been at least 4 new classes already into the game, and finally we get a new class and they're like, it's a necromancer. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you guys, this is my opinion, and I feel that the necromancer is such a bullshit class. I don't feel that they were being creative at all. Like, I would have rather seen druid than a necromancer. And the same with when the crusader came out. And I know it sounds like I'm doing nothing but complaining about this game or whatever, but you guys gotta kind of understand, like, seasons is doing really nothing for the game. We log on in the beginning of a new season, we farm out the achievements or whatever. That's really what it's coming to. We get max level, we farm some items or whatever, and then we move on. We end up quitting the game and coming back next season. It's boring. I'm sick of it. Like, I'm pretty sure we're all sick of it. We want more campaign. The campaign should have been so many more acts by now. The campaign right now in Diablo is a joke. Path of Exile is even, you know, every time Path of Exile has a new league, they add more actual game mechanics and not just items and stuff like that. They're not just seesawing items and you know, nerfing the shit out of some items and buffing the hell out of some items, but they're coming up with whole new game modes for people to play and new mechanics and stuff like that. And that's where that game really thrives at. And it's just sad to see that, you know, Diablo is a game run by a company that has so much resources, and yet the creativity or whatever is not being shown up to this point. And I really hope the reason for lack of content for Diablo right now is the fact that they're working on Diablo 4. Now, if they're not working on Diablo 4, I don't really know what to say with Diablo. There's not much positives I can give the game. Greater Rifts are boring. You know, there could have been so many, they could have added so many different types of Greater Rifts by now. It's not even funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Greater Rift system is nowhere near as complex as the map system in Path of Exile. And it's just sad. Really, it is. Look, I'm gonna go into a 55 Greater Rift right now, and there's really nothing changed. Like, there's really nothing new right now in Diablo 3 that hasn't been there already for years. And that's very sad to say. Like I said, it feels like they're just neglecting the hell out of the game, and I really just don't know why. You know, they have the Druid, which is probably one of the best classes that's ever. I'm not gonna say that World of Warcraft invented the Druid. They surely didn't, but they definitely perfected the Druid in a way where they should have that class in just about every game that they have out there, just because it's so unique. Now, I know balancing something like that might be a real bitch, but you guys aren't really doing shit now. So if you guys have any, how do you guys feel about Diablo 3? Just please comment down in the comment section below and let your boy know, you know, how you feel about Diablo. How do you feel about the leagues? I mean, not the leagues, but the seasons and stuff like that. And do you feel that, like, anything's really changed? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're still doing, look, I'm doing Whirlwind Barb. Whirlwind Barb has been a thing since the beginning of fucking time in this game, and we're still doing it. All the builds that we're doing in Diablo are just about all the same builds, you know what I mean? And now it's getting to a point where people don't want to do anything except for being competitive with each other. Oh, this guy has a better build than me, I need to re-roll, or I need to do this or whatever. No one's actually playing together anymore. It's getting to the point where when I meet friends on Diablo and stuff like that, these guys re-roll on Diablo so much just because you're stronger than them at the beginning that it's kind of silly. It's kind of silly. It's purely competitive now. The co-op is just very sad. I'm gonna make a video on Path of Exile later and tell you guys how I feel about Path of Exile, because I've been playing Path of Exile as well. And don't get me wrong, I still got love for Diablo. It's just that it's just so sad where the game is right now compared to Path of Exile, and it just feels like it's been left to burn, just left to, like, really, it's neglected. That's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Like, this Rift right here doesn't feel any different than how Rift felt when Rift first came out. There's no new game mechanics onto these Rifts whatsoever. There's nothing. It's like whoever, if they even still have a development team for Diablo, I feel that the development team really needs to just, like, let go. They really need someone else. I would rather see Diablo turn into something else than to just have it just sit here idle like this and be nothing. And you know, the game's only populated during the beginning of the season, which is kind of sad. And it's almost the same for Path of Exile as well. They're starting to get into that slump as well, where they're just focusing on these leagues and stuff like that. But at least their leagues bring more mechanics and stuff like that to the game, rather than just fucking flipping gems back and forth. Like, I mean, this is sad. This is King Vox. Comment down below your opinion on Diablo. I'm out.